Good morning, I'm Sharaad Kuttan and welcome to BFM's Morning Headlines. It's the 13th of February and no surprises as to what's on the front pages of almost all our newspapers, whether it's the headline or not. And it of course is the person who is said to be the successor to Taib Mahmud of Sarawak. Taib Mahmud, as you know, is the Chief Minister. He's been in power for 33 years, longer than even Dr. Mahathir's 22 years. But today it seems like old news since the internet broke it yesterday. So after 12 hours, what's there to say? It's Adenan. But of course it's Adenan there. The front pages of Utusan Malaysia. You have the signing off there on Malaysian Reserve. You have the happy man now blessed with fortune. He is the man who is going to take over. Adenan, of course, is former brother-in-law of the Chief Minister. He also has a pacemaker. He's 68 years old. There he is, happy again. Small little picture of him. Adenan gets a nod, but we knew this more than 12 hours ago. It's Adenan. No big surprise. New Straits Times. Sinar Harian has that in the corner over there. We have it even on Harian Metro, more formal picture, the man in his kind of official thing that he probably has to wear when he faces the governor, the young Dipatua. Berita Harian has a slightly different take on it. He was given a sign on Umrah with the Chief Minister. There he is, they're both there in Mecca, and he got a sign. So that's a sign, Petunjuk. So maybe that's the word of the day, Petunjuk. That's right, Petunjuk. It's a sign that he should do that. Okay, but back to some serious stuff as people try and evaluate what the media did in the run-up to this moment, whether they explored all avenues, and they told us what are the differences between the different candidates. Apparently, only issue was whether they were the favourite Putrajaya or whether they were Taib loyalists. No questions of policy, no questions about Sarawak. And the issues that face them and how the candidates see that. Also taken for granted was that the candidates had to be a Muslim. Of course, the Deputy Chief Minister is a Christian Iban, and Alfred Jabun Numpang was completely written out. Almost completely written out of the running. Interesting story about a woman whose Facebook posting has gotten her into trouble. It's Financial Daily. Khalid Ibrahim, Menteri Besar of Selangor, and his ongoing saga with Bank Islam is on the pages of the Edge Financial Daily. Malay Mail has a story about water and whether we're reaching critical levels. Of course, the exclamation mark suggests that we have, but the Malay Mail tends to have exclamation marks against all its headlines, whether it's there literally or not. A little story there, and it's actually reflected in other newspapers, is that assassination bid on a Rakhine Buddhist political leader from Myanmar. They're now connecting it to a murder that happened in Ampang 2 weeks ago. A man found in a boot and very, very dead in the boot. The Sun has another story. Maybe it's slightly alarmist to put on the front page. Only one case, and that was a tourist from China in Kota Kinabalu. But does that mean that the H7N9 virus is in town? There you have the Star talking about Adenan as a unifier, or perhaps a compromise candidate. We don't know. But the Star now, a lot of praise for an assessment of the current Chief Minister's 33 years, and now again an attempt to talk up the new Chief Minister or the Chief Minister to be. GDP grows at 4.7% in 2013, exceeding forecasts. What is the character of that growth and how did it translate into jobs and high incomes? We need to know more about that. The Sinar Harian has Dr. Mahathir, 22 years in power, now weighing in on the Kajang by-election, saying that PKR shouldn't be too greedy. Too greedy, he says. Why? Because in fact DAP and PAS have more seats in the Assembly. They should be given a stab at the Menteri Besar's position. So he's, as it were, weighing in perhaps a little mischievously. But anyway, that's Dr. Mahathir for you. And finally, we have Harian Metro, always good for domestic violence and such, and of course language that other papers might shun. Here you have on page 2, Sembilan Pondan Gelabah. Not a very positive view of the transgender. And I wonder about the word Pondan. I think the preferred word from the community is Maknya, but do they really care? Also a story of a man who was murdered, or found murdered, and suspicions that he might have been in a homosexual relationship. Because the word fakta here, is he fakta there, and it says mangsa disyaki terbabe aktiviti seks sejenis. Now, if it's merely suspected at this point that he was in a homosexual relationship, how is this a fact? One can point to, of course, the color of the curtains in the living room. Perhaps that's a suggestion of his sexuality. I don't know. At any rate, that's Harian Metro for you. Lots of sensational type stories on its front page and in its insides, as it were. Thank you very much. That's all I have for you this morning. I'm Sharaad Kuttan. It's been BFM's Morning Headlines. And remember, you had the word for the day. And the word for today was Petunjuk. Thank you so much for joining me. BFM 89.9.